my darlings, how are you all doing tonight? It is storming again because why not? Honestly, I'm not complaining about it because when it's summertime here, it is like drought season. And then, the local government will tell you you cannot water the lawn or you cannot water outdoors more than twice a week or more than once a week or anyway about that. So, we are back for our last episode of season 6 of Love is Blind. I mean, this season, if you guys have been following it, obviously, would know it has been all kinds of a mess. It's like shenanigans after shenanigans after shenanigans, and the roller coasters just wouldn't stop going. It's like, wow. Like, yeah. Yeah. The the plot twists just kept on going. It's like when you thought it was going to be an easier ride, I mean, there might be a little bump here and there. It just kept smacking you in the face with a new plot twist. I gotta say, for the most plot twists, I think it's this season. But, yeah, I might be biased. Who knows? But again, we are here now. Love is Blind, season 6, episode 12. Will you or won't you meet me at the altar? Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Remember the episode prior to this where the entire amusement park was rented out just for Chelsea and Jimmy to go on a date? I mean, hello. It was like, Netflix, you increase your prices just so you can recoup the cost of renting this damn amusement park for the most toxic couple of this season. Anyway. So I'm like, I'm shocked. Oh, it is what it is. It's already done, right? But at the end of that episode, we see that Jimmy was asking Chelsea while they were sitting at a table. They were discussing their relationship and their feelings towards their upcoming nuptial. Jimmy asked Chelsea how she felt about whether she'll give an answer to marry him yes or marry him no. And Chelsea shares that she's gone through a roller coaster of emotions, and we have seen that girl. You don't have to keep reminding us and vacillating between different discourses they've had, which again, we've all unfortunately seen. And I mean, hello. She also adds that she does indeed see Jimmy as a wonderful dad and a husband someday. And in this moment, she adds, in this moment, she can say with certainty that yes, she will say, I do. Right now, it is yes, a girl. Hold on to that thought because Jimmy's expression looks like it's about to drop a bomb on us, and she surely did. He dropped the bomb on us girls. He said, no, I don't. That I did not expect. I expected that from Chelsea. With Jimmy? No. He says that although he sees each day the wife he thinks he looks for in Chelsea, and acknowledges that, he looks for those things in somebody who would be like a candidate to be his wife or whatever. He just can't do it with Chelsea. He can't push through to the altar with her. I was like, oh wow, I am gagged. Because that's the twist I really didn't expect to come from him. I mean, I thought it was going to come from her. For reals. The guy who's had the patience of a saint dealing with the Tasmanian devil sort of emotions inside Chelsea. Damn. Chelsea rightfully is confused by this. Because, he has shown her that through all of the tantrums she's had, he will stick by her and be her rock. I mean, his actions that I believe in this date of theirs had been fine and dandy, like nothing was wrong with the world, like he had no reservations, like he hadn't made up his mind to say no. So maybe this was Jimmy's way. And in a way, I feel like maybe this was Jimmy's way of saying goodbye to Chelsea, you know, is to go on another date with her, because potentially they will never have this opportunity again unless, they choose to date outside the show. Who knows, right? And for Chelsea at least to have this day to relish, albeit it will now be marred with dark clouds, but at least it's not all a waste, you know? I mean, I see the intent to be gentle from Jimmy. I do. He considered her feelings, and we know he's seen all kinds of those feelings erupt from Chelsea before. You can even blink. So, Jimmy definitely didn't want another eruption. But I'm sure he knew that, obviously, dropping this bomb on Chelsea will elicit another monumental below the belt tirade against him. And did she not, though? He tried to explain to her the reasons that brought him to the decision not to marry her. For instance, it's the moment that Chelsea brought up that secret that, Jimmy shared with her off camera and asked her not to repeat. And I guess at the time she said, oh, I wouldn't repeat it unless she needed to repeat it, which she has been using as ammo to manipulate his feelings further and submitting to her illusions of being the rational partner. Like, ma'am, no. And repeating it again during this date, even when Jimmy was trying to explain to her that this is a massive betrayal, given that she can't control her mouth when she's angry or feeling insecure, or to add credence to her argument when she's feeling like she doesn't have any more cards to play just to win the argument. Girl, 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 boundaries, girl. He continues that before that argument, he was set on marrying her. He did. I mean, honestly, he looked really set on marrying her because that man, like I said, has the patience of a saint. I could do it. All kinds of red flags were already like flapping in the air for me. But for him, he was going to walk past them like they weren't there. So there you go. For her part, Chelsea, again, is taking no accountability for her actions. She's repeating that he called her clingy, that he wanted her to refrain from seeking sexy time from him. The time he's lied to her, and this must include that time when she thought he saw Jessica at a bar he was barely at because Chelsea was having a fit. And all the other things Chelsea has had to overcome for Jimmy. These are, again, according to Chelsea. We don't see those other things that she's had to, what she says she's had to overcome in the episodes before this. So go ahead and draw your own conclusions to that, darlings. Chelsea is remembering one recent argument but doesn't review it in her head objectively. I mean, why do we expect more though? So very true. She's been irrational and self-centered for most of the scenes she's been with Jimmy, so yeah. For his part, Jimmy is trying to recall with Chelsea that they've had more than five arguments that have crossed the line for him. But then again, gotta have smoke for Jimmy on this one. Sir, you done lied in front of your parents and said, well, no, actually, you're right. Now I think about it, it wasn't him, was it, that said they haven't had any arguments. It was Chelsea that said, no, they've had no arguments, but they've had conversations. There you go. Sorry. Whoops. So for his part, Jimmy especially feels like the arguments that they've had, the big arguments that they've had, that was far too many crossing the line for him, especially the disrespect from Chelsea about, again, his previous relationship with his friend, who is still active in his life now. Of course, Chelsea has to try and argue that the frequency of their contact, Jimmy and his friend, has her feeling some type of way because, according to her, all day long texts and calls are flying between Jimmy and this ex girlfriend, current friend of his. I don't know how often is often. What is the frequency of this, really, truly? I mean, does she go through his phone? Because I'm pretty sure she has a job, right? Like, isn't she a flight attendant? I'm just saying. Like, do you check his phone while you're? I don't know. Anyway, I'm just saying. Um. Then again, I have to say I do have a female friend who never seems to run out of things to talk about. So, yeah, you take it with a grain of salt. And that's, I mean, that's daily, Bo. Mm. Mm-mm. Anywho, back to Jimmy and Chelsea. Chelsea is holding down her point, 10 toes in, that she felt a certain type of way that Jimmy is still in contact with his former lover slash friend. Girl, stop arguing. This is just not for you. Just let it go. Let it go. It's not to say that Jimmy was cheating on her, but she really needs to work on herself with a professional therapist. Pronto. But we also have Jimmy rebutting her Chelsea's argument because he says Chelsea still hangs out with her ex-boyfriend, who is now one of her, well, close friends. So I do recall Chelsea saying one of her exes is her BFFs. Like, Chelsea girl, you can't pick and choose what will apply based on your own personal preference alone. The people you will meet in life will have had a lifetime of their own people before meeting you. I'm just saying. Further, Jimmy reminds Chelsea that she FaceTimed a dude the first night of their engagement when they all got their phones back. Damn, Chelsea. I see you were so ecstatic to share the news, but with your ex? Girl. The bottom line to this argument is that Chelsea can't be trusted with confidential info. And that is an extreme breach of confidence for Jimmy. It's not negotiable for him. That was one too many drops on that bucket that made him just kick that bucket over altogether. It's like, kick that bucket over. Empty it out. And just start over with somebody else. He didn't say that, but I'm just saying. He straight up said, I can't fathom marrying you after that. Damn. He said, I cannot fathom marrying you after that. Ah, damn. That's gotta suck for you. I mean, seriously, that's like the nail in the coffin. Yeah. Like, dude, no. Point blank, period. That is a bold statement, but I can't fault him for that. I mean, I do have some smoke for Jimmy because he forgot that he alluded to telling Chelsea that she wants to have sexy time with him a lot. But, he's also not done because he's like, I didn't tell the world your deepest, darkest secrets. I'm like, oh, damn, this is where we are now. They're going to go tit for tat on these deep, dark secret things. I'm like, damn, okay. You done unleashed the Kraken. That is Jimmy, Chelsea. Cheese nuts, girl. I think that would be another episode, don't you? Well, to which Chelsea, already on the offensive and completely overcome by her emotions, shoots back at Jimmy. Well, your deepest, darkest secret is fucking your friend. Girl. Again, this is why he does not want to fuck with you anymore. You cannot control any part of your speech or thoughts or actions when your emotions flare. Girl. Never acceptable at all. This is overgrown toddler behavior. Point blank, period. Now then, we are off to some, well, a little bit of an easier time. That is the bachelorette parties for Adi and Amy. I guess they're the only ones making it to the altar now, right? I mean, but will they get past the I do? Let's wait and see. For now, they are off to a good time at their parties, both ladies and gents having their own shindigs, because, why not? I think the gents were having a barbecue. I'm not sure. But the ladies are like in an indoor restaurant slash bar, it looked like. And it was done up for the bachelor party. It looked cute. And we see Amy and Adi at the bar talking about the conundrum between Amy and Johnny, and that is the birth control issue. Honestly, I am done with that stupid shit. I mean, it's not stupid, but it's like, ugh, loud. We are an inch away from the altar and we still have to contend with this damn issue. Like, oh my god, y'all. Is this out of control now? Someone please put these two in a therapy session with a licensed OB/GYN and a therapist pronto. AD, for her part, does not believe that Amy is not putting it down on Chandler because, Amy is way too spicy. But wait, is this a doubtful devil got hold of Amy's left shoulder? Because she's talking about what if he says no, girl? Don't put that out in the world. I mean, hello. She's feeling like 2% unsure that he would say yes. Girl, don't you dare say that. They started off as 5 couples, now we're down to 2, but damn, will they make it past? You know what? I don't. Amy, don't you do it. Don't you do it, girl. Now, off to where the men are. Clay says he's very secure in his relationship with AD. It's in a good place. He has no complaints. He has best friend vibes with her. What? Did you just say best friend vibes? With your fiance? That's all you get out of that? It didn't ring like it should for me. Did he mean to say, I feel like we're the best of friends? I don't, yeah, no, it just, that statement didn't ring well for me. I mean, I hope for AD, I hope for the best for her to have complete clarity of her future with Clay. That's all. Whether she chooses to go and be his wife and go through all the, the ups and downs that come with that, or whether she chooses to go and just cut her losses, take that L, handle it. But I hope the best for her. Anyway, then we seg on to Clay and AD's big day. Yar. AD is, of course, the excited bride. And y'all, I spotted a table with tableware, food, charcuterie board, donuts, drinks. Girl, you numb it. Okay, now kinetic. I see you. I see you. So there's a replay of Clay and AD's beginnings. Where Clay is reading that Bible verse to AD, and I still feel like that was performative. But hey, I'm not AD. So there. Okay? Because AD says that Clay is so fine. I don't agree. He's chocolate. Well, he is a tall, dark chocolate. And that they mesh together perfectly, among other things, which makes for a recipe for greatness, according to AD. MK, don't throw tomatoes at me. And then we have Clay, who says one of the reasons why he fell in love with AD is that she believed in him. Doesn't she, though? She is definitely ride or die for you, boo. Even when you choose not to come home. Oof. Did I say that? Sorry, I digress. Let's continue on to AD's mom entering the wedding suite, and she's sharing with AD that she's met her future in-law, Clay's mom, and she loves Clay's mom. How Clay's mom talked about AD, which endeared AD's mom. Oh, Clay's mom to AD's mom. Oh my gosh, there's so many moms. Oh, sorry. I forgot. I think Clay's mom's name is Rita. So let me repeat that. So, or rephrase that. So, having met Rita, Clay's mom, having met AD's mom, and I forgot her name, AD's mom feels like Rita has endeared herself more into AD's family because of how she has spoken of AD. So, and for her part, AD confirms that Clay's mom is a really good, solid person. And she adds that Clay is such a good protector and provider, and she knows that he'll be a good daddy. She said daddy, not father. Okay. For your sake, girl, I sure hope so. I'm glad Clay's friend advised him that marriage is a 2-man relay where each partner has their own strengths and should remember that. to boost, to enhance, and motivate each other. Words of wisdom, indeed. To boost, to enhance, and motivate each other. For AD, her mom has given her something old. You know that tradition of something blue, something new, something old, and something borrowed? Her mom gave her grandmother's jade necklace, which was given to her by her own mother, AD's grandmother, at her own wedding. That was very touching. 4 generations of strong women represented in that jade necklace. And then we see Trevor, not that Trevor, Clay's father, Trevor. The guy is stylish. He's a stylish looking fellow. He also shares his words of wisdom with Clay, even sharing a story of him and Clay running track and Clay beating him in a race. And in that moment, he knew that Clay was going to always be doing better than him. And he adds that his own mother had told him that in a marriage, you should always treat his wife well and to be good to your kids. Well, he doesn't actually expound on treating his wife well because, well, well, we're aware. We are all well aware of his shortcomings there. Unfortunately, he does expound that he didn't have to try to be good to his kids because it came second nature to him. Now, does that include bringing your kid to your cheating rendezvous? I'm just like asking for a friend here. Clay, in his confessional, shares that he's never had this much advice from his dad as he did on this wedding day of his, and that again. The cheating trips of his dad had definitely shaped his idea of marriage. Like, was his dad entirely in love with his mom and he would cheat? I mean, that's a good question, Clay. And only your dad can answer that. I mean, at this point, yeah. Still, it still sucks that his mom didn't know, right? And will likely find out when she watches the show. So hugs to you, Rita. Ooh, well, we finally get to see AD in her wedding dress. Holy slit. That dress is fire. And AD in it is a mic drop. Now let's get to the ceremony, but wait, hello. Another twist. Well, not really. It's like a side comment. Like, does Clay's dad not talk to his daughter because he sat a space away? Like, he had a full chair space away from her. Well, all right then. I just noticed that. I'm just saying. I'm sure we'll get clarity on that later. And we see now AT walking down the aisle alone. I really thought she would walk with her mom. And she's nervous and excited all at the same time. I mean, who wouldn't be, right? Clay's speech was so like him, like so like him in all of these episodes. And he does acknowledge that he's not easy to be with, to work with, to play with, but he appreciates the grace AD has given him. As for AD, Clay is her safe space. She loves his raw, authentic side and his personable and fun side. She adds that she appreciates how far they've come. And of course, she said, I do. What do you think she was going to say? We've all seen how in love she was with Clay. And she, was going to go. What did she say? She can fly off a cliff and she will know that Clay will be at the bottom of that cliff to save her. Or, what is it? To catch her. Okay, that's a lot of trust, honey. That's a lot of deep trust in the man. Yeah. Anyway, let's move it along. Clay, for his part, he doesn't think it's responsible for him to say I do. He literally said that. I don't think it's responsible for me to say I do right now. Holy shit. He says he loves her, but doesn't think it's right now a responsible thing to do for him to say I do. Again, holy shit. Wow. But didn't we already see hints of this, though? Like in the past scenes and past episodes? She's been madly in love with him, and he's been leaving us crumbs for us to find that points to him not completely sold on marriage. Like, it was just irritating for me because They're still at the altar. Clay is still harping on not being ready and holding AD hostage on that stage practically. Like he's still holding on to both of her hands. Like, sir, you said no. She said yes. Your speech needs to be very concise and condensed into maybe two sentences, starting with, I am sorry. He was still trying to appeal to her sympathetic side, to let him rock with her even after he has rejected her at the altar. Like, sir, what the fuck? You already said no. You're still asking why the timeline matters. Sir, let her go. Walk away. Let her walk away if you don't want to walk away. I mean, finally, he lets go of AD and she walks away and she hugs Clay's mother. And you can see the guests themselves are sad. Some of them are even shedding tears. Like, why bring her all the way up there to tear her back down? What was the purpose of that? To embarrass her in the way that you have? Who the hell knows? That was an incredible waste of time. And Clay's expression, it just seemed cold. Like, what am I doing? Like, what did I do wrong? Seriously, though? Who are you, the next shake? Holy smokes, Mon. AD sobbing in the bridal suite, as she should. I would be if I were embarrassed like that on national TV. Hello. No less. Clay's immaturity is really wild. It's really wild. And AD's sister said it all. She hadn't met her person yet. All of the men that she has met, unfortunately, have not been the person for her. And unfortunately, AD thought it was Clay. But he fucked everyone over. Period. Period. We also see Clay's mom talk to him and tells him that having been married for 24 years, she can say that he should have made sure that before you cross that line to I do, you're 100% sure. Or don't even think about it. I'm paraphrasing here. And then we also have Clay's dad offering advice to Clay, that he accepts Clay's decision. He's behind him 100%. Like, sir, I'm side-eyeing you hard right now. Why did we expect anything else from him, though? I mean, he's been out here in the streets embarrassing the woman he married. So, yeah. No expectations there, sir. According to Clay, you know, when he was younger, his dad would bring him in these rendezvous. So no expectations again from Clay's dad when it comes to relationships. Clay obviously has had so many doubts of his own clarity with marriage, the nuances, the commingling of finances. Like, why didn't these things come up before today, before you got on this altar? Was there never an opportunity to look at each other's finances? Your shared immediate goals, your shared future goals? What the hell? Was Clay only around when they had to film? And like, are these things AD just swept under a rug and just chose not to revisit, to review, to just say, I can manage? I mean, honestly, you too. And honestly, it was so annoying when Clay, well, went to go check on AD in the bridal suite, and you know they're talking, and then he has the gall to ask for a hug. I mean, I know that he knows that AD will always take him back in some form or another, and maybe she, in that moment, she was still thinking, you know, we can work through this, because she was still letting him kiss her, hug up on her, cuddle up to her. And it's like, are you not going to draw the line? He just done, you just got embarrassed in the worst possible way at the altar. She's already told him she won't be a long-term girlfriend or fiance, but it sure seemed that way in that moment. Girl, you need to also work on yourself through self-discovery and therapy. Both of you guys, separately, need therapy. Outside of the wedding venue, we see Clay's parents speaking to each other about Clay's trauma about marriage. The idea of marriage being a commitment to honor and protect, or marriage being where you lie and deceive. Rita, Clay's mom, poses that question to her ex husband, Trevor, and tells him that he needs to speak to Clay and he needs to apologize. And not to make excuses, but to apologize. Clay's dad tries, though, to smooth his way out of this predicament by saying he didn't have a father figure growing up. Like, sir, you had a whole marriage lasting 24 years. Was lessons not learned when you were in it? You had children in that marriage. Sometimes we must be willing to acknowledge the trauma and choose to learn from that trauma, to be wiser and more mature in our relationships with others moving forward. We can't always use not having a parent as a crutch or a past trauma as a crutch. In this case, you not having a parent as a crutch. That's why you were sowing your royal oats everywhere and bringing your son along with you when you were doing it. I will never understand that. Clay's mom also now clarifies what we thought she didn't know. She knew, she found out the information from Clay after she divorced her ex, which is the most recent time, I guess during the filming of the show. Wow. Wow. This woman is full of grace because she told Trevor, I forgive you. I have forgiven you. The maturity with which she's carrying herself before this man who hurt her deeply. Wow. If only Clay could see that and learn from that. She chooses to use her broken past to educate and learn so that the new generation doesn't fall into that trap. And listening to them talk, I think this might have been the first time they've really spoken to each other about their hurt and the causative effect this has had on their children together. Back to Clay. Clay is still in the suite with AD, trying to appeal to her, let him back into her life completely. She feels like she was a sacrificial lamb, and she should, to him finding himself in this process. She feels like she used her to break past his idea of himself so that he can see how broken he was or has been, and how that caused him to project that onto others. This guy's really obtuse. Or he's a really good actor, now that I think about it. Because he still asked if he needed to actually leave AD. Sir, you already did. You said no at the altar. Bye, Felicia. AD girl, therapy. Get yourself in therapy, girl. She asked that she won't beg him to pick her, but she's letting him kiss up on her, hug her after she's been left. No, girl. Therapy. Therapy. Now then, after that shock, let's head on over to my fave couple, as you know, Johnny and Amy. It is their wedding, and child, I am out of shocks at this point. I hope there won't be any more of those damn shocks, because I don't think my heart can take it if my fave couple breaks up at the altar. I'm just saying. Anyway, with these two, my favorite scenes are when Amy's parents walked in and Amy and the ladies getting ready for her big hour, and Amy's dad told Johnny's sister he loves her and he welcomes Johnny and his family to his. Now that is the best dad ever. Hello. He is thoughtful and kind to his daughter's new family, and you can see that he is the same way to his own. At the very least, if they don't make it past the altar, these two would have a solid family behind and between them to get them through any hardship life throws at them. And Amy is walked down the aisle by her brother and father. Very cute, very sweet. The two most important men in Amy's life. And of course, once they say I do, Johnny will be number one, but she'll always have her OG men in her life, her dad and her brother. These are such a stark contrast of drama we've had to watch this damn episode alone. Anyway, after a few seconds of pausing, I was like, oh my gosh, Johnny and Amy each said I do. Oh, to each other. Oh. Love is blind, darlings. Love is a blind. Yes, it is for the two of them. Now off to the moon on a unicorn for these two. But wait, we thought we were gonna be left with, the nice romantic love that is Amy and Johnny. Why the hell do we still have to contend with sad Clay at the end of this episode? Like, haven't we seen enough of him and his obtusely worded speeches? Damn, bruh. Please go. Just go. Call a therapist while you're at it. Please do. At least consider it. And that is where this episode really ends the season. We had 5 couples engaged out of the pods: Jeremy and Laura, Chelsea and Jimmy, AD and Clay, Kenneth and Brittany, and Johnny and Amy. And as we know now, we ended up with only one couple tying the knot. Let's see what the future holds for these pod contestants as they navigate life outside the pods after the altar. And you want to be there at the reunion because I hope we have some really, really competent hosts at the reunion. No offense, but seriously, competent hosts that will ask the questions that need to be answered. You know what I mean? Anyway, until then, I shall see you all fabulous people later. Remember, you're all kinds of fabulous because what else would you be but your fabulous little self? And I know it's hard, but do try to leave some grace for others and to continue to journey in gratitude, my darling dears. I shall see you on the next go around. Bye for now. Bye.